The world of consumer robotics, well, it seems like it's really hit a critical point, hasn't it?
It definitely feels that way. We're moving past just, you know, automated vacuums.
Exactly. We're starting to see the first real home humanoids arrive. So today, we're doing a deep dive into one of the big ones, 1X Technologies product, NEO. That's NEO.
Right. And this deep dive, we're really digging into the sources around its pre-order launch. We want to look at what it actually means if you decide to be an early adopter here.
Yeah, because it's a brand new category, really. Still pretty unproven in the home.
Absolutely. So our goal is to weigh the pros, the real advantages against the critical cons, the trade-offs.
To help figure out the calculation for someone listening who might be curious, we've got press releases, some financial takes, early reviews.
All sorts of stuff.
And the core question, I think, for you listening is, should you even consider ordering this $20,000 robot? It's not even shipping until 2026.
Let's jump in.
Okay, so let's start with the promise. The pitch from 1X. NEO is positioned as, well, the world's first consumer-ready humanoid robot, designed specifically to kind of transform life at home, automating everyday chores. Sounds amazing on paper.
It really does.
Yeah.
And the utility argument is definitely the big draw, you know. Because it's general purpose, it's not stuck doing just one thing.
Right, not just vacuuming.
Exactly. The chores feature is key. Owners are supposed to be able to schedule tasks, folding laundry, organizing shelves, just general tidying.
Basic stuff, too, like letting someone in.
Yeah. The sources say from day one it should handle things like opening doors for guests, fetching items you ask for, turning lights off, things that need interaction with a human environment.
And it's not just about moving around and picking things up, right? There's an intelligence layer.
That's the other big piece. Personalized intelligence. It has a built-in large language model, an LLM.
So you can talk to it without needing a screen all the time.
That's the idea. Conversational utility. It's designed to listen, understand context. It has audio intelligence, so it knows when you're talking to it.
Okay.
And visual intelligence, so it can actually see and interpret what's going on around it.
Can you give an example of that, the visual part?
Sure. One example they give is, say you're in the kitchen, NEO sees ingredients on the counter, maybe flour, eggs, sugar.
Right.
It could then suggest recipes, or maybe remind you you're low on milk. It's trying to be more like a helpful, observant assistant.
Not just a robot arm on wheels.
Exactly. More integrated.
And what really seems to set NEO apart from, the Roombas of the world is the commitment to that humanoid shape. Why 5'6", 66 pounds?
It's a very deliberate design choice. It comes down to efficiency, really.
How so?
Well, think about your home. It's already built for humans, right? Doorways, stairs, counters, tools. They're all designed for human ergonomics.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
So by matching that basic form, NEO is meant to operate more seamlessly in that existing setup. That's the big argument for its versatility over specialized bots.
Like you said, a vacuum cleans floors, but it can't climb stairs or open the fridge.
Precisely. NEO, at least in theory, could eventually do a much wider range of tasks because it has that human-like body.
Okay, that sounds great, but a bipedal robot walking around my house.
That immediately brings up safety questions for me. What are they saying about the hardware? How does it safe?
Yeah, safety is a huge focus in their materials. They talk a lot about proprietary tech. NEO uses something called 1X's patented tendon drive actuation system.
Tendon drive, what does that do?
It uses high torque motors, but the key is the tendon part. It's designed to sort of mimic human tendons and muscles. It absorbs shock, provides what they call gentle, compliant movements.
So it's not rigid and jerky. It's got some give, like a person's arm might.
Exactly. That compliance is really important if it's working near, fragile things or kids or furniture, less likely to just barge through things.
Okay, that's interesting. They also stress its physical robustness, but also how quiet it is. It's got a soft body covering, head to toe, made from custom 3D lattice polymer structures.
Soft body. Why?
It covers all the joints, makes them pinch-proof. And for a home environment, this is crucial. It's apparently extremely quiet, only 22 decibels.
Quieter than my fridge.
Quieter than most modern refrigerators now. But despite being soft and quiet, it's still strong. The specs say it can lift 154 pounds and carry 55 pounds.
Wow. Okay, so capable, but designed to be safe and quiet in the home.
That's the pitch. Capability and compliance.
And if someone listening is thinking, okay, I'm intrigued, what's the cost? What does this early access look like?
You could put down a $200 deposit right now, and they say it's fully refundable. The actual early access price is $20,000.
20,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that gets you priority delivery, supposedly starting in 2026. There's also a subscription option,
Oh, how much is that?
$499 per month,
Yeah.
but you have to commit to at least 6 months up front.
Right. Okay, still a significant financial commitment either way. All right, let's unpack that $20,000 proposition a bit more, because that first part, NEO, sounds incredible, like the perfect, quiet, helpful robot butler.
The dream scenario.
But when you dig into the early reviews, the technical analyses, you start to see some pretty big limitations right now, things that really challenge that consumer-ready label.
This is definitely the reality check section. The big one is what's being called the autonomy gap. Meaning, based on public demos and reviews, NEO currently doesn't have true, like start-to-finish autonomous operation for most real household tasks.
So it needs help.
Often, yeah. It might need human assistance or guidance or someone to reset it if it gets stuck trying to do a complex chore.
And I assume it's slow compared to a person doing the same task?
Oh, incredibly slow. That's just the state of robotics right now. Navigation in cluttered spaces, manipulation, like picking up a specific object smoothly. These are still really hard problems.
So moving through a messy kitchen could take ages.
Exponentially longer than a human, yes. And there are still reports of instability.
Instability, like falling over.
Yeah, the sources mention it sometimes falls over. And at 66 pounds, that's not just annoying. It's a potential safety issue, especially if you have kids or pets running around.
Definitely. So if it's struggling this much with basic autonomy now, how does 1X plan to get it ready by 2026? What's the bridge?
Well, that leads us directly to maybe the most controversial part. The expert mode.
Expert mode, what is that?
It's the core trade-off, really. For tasks NEO doesn't know how to do yet, the owner has to schedule a remote session.
Remote session? With who?
With a 1X expert. That's a company employee, based in the U.S., according to the sources. This employee remotely supervises and guides the robot using a VR headset.
Wait, hold on. So a 1X employee is looking through the robot's cameras inside my house.
That's exactly what it means.
That sounds less like an appliance and more like a privacy nightmare.
You've nailed the central dilemma here. The CEO has been quite upfront about it, actually. He called it a social contract that buyers need to be okay with.
A social contract?
Yeah. The argument is that this real-world, in-home data, seeing how the robot navigates your specific kitchen, how it handles your laundry, is absolutely essential for training their Redwood AI model.
So I'm basically paying $20,000 to let them use my house as a training lab?
In effect, yes. You're paying a premium price to be part of the development process, a very active part.
I get they need training data, but wow.
Are there any privacy controls? They do mention mitigations. You, the owner, have to actively schedule and approve the remote session. You can do it via voice or an app.
Okay.
And the robot has these emotive ear rings, lights, basically, that change color to show when a remote operator is active.
Little lights change color while someone watches me through my robot. That feels minimal. How can you really feel secure when the whole system's success depends on someone looking into your private space?
That is the calculation. It's a big ask. You're investing in the future capability of the product, not just buying a finished thing off the shelf.
So 1X stresses owner control scheduling, approving.
Yes, they emphasize that point, but you can't get away from the fact that you are opening your home environment to external observation because the robot is still functionally learning on the job. It's like a high-tech apprentice you're paying for.
Let's bring this back to the money again. $20,000 up front or $499 a month. That's nearly $6,000 a year on the subscription. So for $20K, you get maybe 5 years of a robot that's slow, might fall over, needs remote help sometimes, and beams video of your home back to headquarters.
And that comparison hasn't been lost on critics. Some analysts point out that for that kind of money, you could just hire a human housekeeper.
Right. Probably cheaper, definitely more effective right now, and certainly less invasive.
It highlights that you're not really buying a polished consumer good yet. You're buying early access. Maybe even buying into a development kit that looks like an appliance.
So, okay, putting this all together, if you're someone thinking about that 2026 pre-order, what does it really mean? It feels like you're not just buying a gadget, you're buying into their whole strategy.
That's a really important distinction. 1X is vertically integrated. They control the hardware that Tendon drive, the soft body, and the Redwood AI software.
Okay.
Their entire business model seems to rely on continuous learning from robots deployed in the real world. those remote operator sessions. That's how they generate the training data.
So my robot messing up helps train all the other NEOs.
Exactly. The early adopters' experiences, the data gathered from their homes, directly fuels the intelligence of the entire fleet. Your participation makes the product better, faster.
And central to making it better is this Redwood AI world model they talk about. What does a world model actually do for the robot in my unpredictable house?
Right, it sounds fancy. Basically, think of it as a deep generative neural network. It creates a kind of digital twin, a simulation of the real environment based on what the robot sees and senses.
A simulation inside its head.
Sort of, yeah. It allows NEO to predict the likely consequences of his own actions before it takes them. Remember that cluttered kitchen example?
Yeah.
If NEO is going for the cereal, and suddenly a kid runs into the room, the world model helps it predict the child's path, predict what would happen if it kept moving, and then decide instantly to stop or change course to avoid a collision.
So it simulates possibilities to avoid failure, compressing experience, as they say?
Exactly. It's trying to compress a lifetime of experience into an instant, using all that data it gathers. This predictive power is essential if you want a robot to function safely in a chaotic home.
And that's why they're targeting homes first, not factories.
That seems to be the bet. They believe the sheer variety and unpredictability of home environments will generate richer, more diverse training data than controlled settings like warehouses.
Making their AI smarter, faster.
Hopefully more robust, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gamble, but it's how they're trying to differentiate themselves.
It definitely sets them apart from the competition.
It's a high risk, potentially high reward. You look at competitors like Figure AI. They're focusing on warehouses, factories first, more structured places.
Right. And Tesla's Optimus.
Also seems focused on industrial scale-up initially, even if the long-term goal includes the home. 1X is jumping straight into the deep end, the most complex environment, the home, to accelerate data gathering.
The whole field just feels like this mix of huge investment and huge skepticism, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You read analysts predicting general-purpose humanoids will be everywhere in like 1 to 5 years. Then you read others saying, no way.
Yeah, the skeptics.
Skeptics argue specialized robots will keep dominating, and true general-purpose autonomy outside of careful demos. That could be decades off, maybe 15, maybe even 70 years.
And NEO is launching right into that debate.
So, wrapping this up, the decision to buy NEO, especially as an early adopter, it really boils down to a specific calculation, doesn't it? A calculation involving patience and privacy.
Patience because it's not fully functional yet.
Exactly. You're paying a very high price for what is currently limited autonomy and privacy, because you have to accept this significant trade-off where your home life becomes training data.
But the flip side is you get early access. You're part of building this thing.
You are. You gain access to a technology that is explicitly designed to accelerate its own learning through your direct participation. Your data makes it smarter.
Which leads us to the final thought for you, the listener. Given that NEO's future success, its actual capabilities down the line are so directly tied to the data shared by its first users, how do you view that early access purchase? Is it just paying a lot for a novel, maybe sometimes helpful home service? Or are you actually paying for the privilege and the burden of being the test bed, the essential data source that shapes the future of robotics in our homes? That's the real question, I think, before clicking that pre-order button.